Hey everyone, welcome to this weekend's episode of Corporate Corner. My name is Cynthia Petion with Novatech.
Hey everyone, Eddy Petion here with Novatech. Thank you everyone for joining us on this beautiful Sunday evening. And this is actually, I think, our third session that we're doing with Corporate Corner?
Yeah, this is our third episode. We actually missed last week. I was out of town last week, but yeah, this is now our third episode.
Well, it's been fun. The past few weeks we picked out on topics and talk about, self-developing and personal development subject, or even how to build a business. And we also go into the market to see, the market trends and everything, how the current Forex and crypto market is going. But Mrs. Petion, so what do you want to talk about this week?
Aside from the kink in my neck, so forgive me if I can't turn around fully and take a look at you, but unfortunately,
I'll turn around and look at you. How about that?
I did something to my neck over the past couple of days. But as you know, and some family members and such know, I was actually traveling this past week to Haiti, which is where our families are from. I'm actually a first-generation American, but you were born in Haiti.
100% Haitian, born,
yeah.
kind of raised in Haiti, but loved the country. But what did you see last time you were there?
Well, the last time I visited Haiti, guys, I was 20 years old. So needless to say, it's been quite a bit of time since I've been there. A lot of changes.
Yeah.
Haiti, as you guys may know, has suffered a lot through the economy, as well as natural disasters, earthquakes, and such that in some ways have ravaged the country. But in doing so, and of course there's amazingly natural beauty in both the people and the land that are there as well. Haiti was one of the first, if not the first, countries to gain its independence.
Absolutely,
through its slaves there. So very rich in history. But one of the things that prompted the topic I want to discuss today was the state of the economy there. And I'd like to talk today about efficiently building businesses, particularly through networks. Because in traveling over the past couple of years, I think we've been to maybe 30 countries in the past 2 years?
Yeah, the past couple of years, there's been a lot of travels. Sometimes we do meet our families and kids.
Yeah, all the time.
But, all the time.
but it's been a very enriching experience as well. And one of the things that, we found quite a bit in our travels is that, the state of the economies in a lot of countries, and now what's 2020, really, should be a lot more advanced, and for whatever reasons they aren't. But, we're fortunate to be living here in a country where opportunity is more abundant than in many other areas. But one of the reasons why we started networking, and in cryptocurrency in particular, is the ability for us to be able to share these opportunities worldwide with people we wouldn't normally have been able to share them with. It's not often you get to speak to people in countries that are clear across different hemispheres and time zones, and have the same opportunity as far as building a business and wealth is concerned as you do here, for example, in the U.S. So I'd like to talk about how people can maximize on those benefits so that they can have more of an equal opportunity when it comes to building a business that they can actually sustain a decent lifestyle off of.
Absolutely. And then, you know what? We have to say thanks to the internet and thanks to technology that nowadays we're able to reach out to so many people across the globe, like you said, and without actually physically being there.
So one of the things I find funny is that when you talk about networking, and networking really, people get this preconceived notion that they're talking about MLM all the time, and automatically MLMs get associated with pyramid schemes and Ponzi's and those types of things. But any type of conversation that you have with somebody is essentially networking, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, even if you own a barbershop and you do haircuts, how do you talk to people other than to talk to them about the business, whether that's online marketing or through magazines?
Correct.
You have people working for you. They're what?
They owe your network.
They're part of your network, exactly. But people get this really bad preconceived notion in their head as soon as you talk about affiliate marketing or network marketing or anything like that. And of course, building networks as far as affiliate marketings and MLMs are concerned is a great way to be able to build a business very quickly. They say if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go further, do it with others. So, but any form of marketing really is a form of networking, right? Sure. Right. So one of the tips I'd like to give people is, first of all, get rid of all the preconceived notions of what you think marketing is. I find it funny that people will just do about anything for a hustle, right? And some legal, some not. But the minute you say something about MLM, all of a sudden they feel like you're doing some kind of bad thing. But get rid of any preconceived notions of what you have and what marketing can be. But very importantly, if you're going to build a network or build a business, find something that you yourself would use and enjoy.
Absolutely.
Because you have to
or
feel passionate.
Something that can actually, you're getting benefits out of it. And you also have to try it. You can't go sell somebody, some perfume and you want to convince them, but you don't want to wear it yourself.
Don't want to wear it yourself.
So.
Or you're selling health products, but you don't take them.
Yeah.
You have to be a spokesperson for whatever it is that you're marketing, and that actually means use of the product. And if that means you're selling an investment service, you have to be invested in it. If you're selling a health product, you have to be using it so that you can have some kind of testimony as to what it is. But also, find something that you enjoy using so that you'll continue to use it, but also something that's in need. A lot of times people are selling services or products just because it sounds like a good idea, but it's not something that you need necessarily. I see a lot of people who sell, for example, signals for trading. We run a trading business and opportunity for Forex and cryptocurrency. And you have people who don't trade, they don't have a platform, they're not doing anything other than selling you subscriptions on signals that you're probably not going to use if you're not a skilled trader. But a lot of this stuff you can get online for free.
Absolutely, you can absolutely get them for free. People ask us why don't we provide signals, and we are working on that, in the near future. But it's not something we want to charge people for.
No.
It's like, because you can go. A signal really is somebody's idea on how a currency is going to move. That is just the idea. It's not foolproof. They can give you that signal and you lose your shirt playing that signal. But if you're paying for it, it's even going to be worse, because you're like, I paid for this and I lost all my money. So,
right.
Yeah.
Like you have, healthcare businesses, and people are very into their health nowadays, especially. And I think it's an excellent field. It's one of the first fields that we actually entered into to do our network marketing. And we got a taste of selling a product that we were really, really happy with. And it had a great comp plan, a lot of which I, utilized when we were designing our own comp plan, because it paid handsomely, but it also safeguarded the company, and it just made a lot of sense to me. And I really like those features of a traditional network marketing company, and kind of rolled that into what we're doing as well. But in doing so, I think we also developed what I like to call the annoyance factor.
Well, the annoyance factor, I already see where you're going with that, because that's
that concept of no one can get within 3 feet of me without me selling them the product. And it gave us a lot of discipline, as far as marketing and networking is concerned. We had to have meetings regularly. We had to have phone calls regularly. And, that brings me to another, topic, is that if you're going to network something, if you're going to market something, not only do you have to try it and use it, not only does it need to be a need so that people have an interest in using it, but you also have to be comfortable in talking to people about it.
And you're never gonna get that in that comfort zone if you don't know your product. That's number one. You have to know your product, be passionate about it, and know, like you said, the results that it can provide to somebody. And basically all you're doing is you're just happy to share something that you like.
Right.
It's not like I'm saying, look, you need to buy this. Look, this is what I've been doing. It's been so successful for me. I've been feeling so much better about it. You should try it, man. You know, it's that simple. You know, you talk about your experience.
Right. And, you know, one of the things I like to ask people when they're looking for an opportunity, and our opportunity is not for everyone. And
because not everyone like to make money, right?
everyone likes to make money. No, but, you know, aside from that, you know, I always ask people, if you could do anything in life without fear of failure, what would you do? And you'd be surprised at some of the answers that we get. Some people like to cook, they would open a restaurant. Some people like to make jewelry, and that's what they would do. Some people want to teach sports. You know, I've met people who have very, you know, artistic abilities, and they do all these digital videos and stuff like that. Really, really cool stuff. So if you can find what it is that you like to do, find the market that you want to market to, you know, your niche and your following, and then you have to just get out there and promote it, but do what you do and do it better than anyone else, so that somebody else is actually willing to pay you for it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
do it with passion.
Yeah, so if you're a good coach and mentor, do that all day long. You know, especially when it comes to network marketing, you know, there are certain things to keep in mind. And you know, people don't necessarily follow the company. They follow you and the message that you're sending, and your passion and your drive. So if you're not passionate about it, and you're not wanting to have meetings to help them, you can't expect anything like that to build. The good side, obviously, is you want to be able to partner with people when you are networking who are stronger where you have deficiencies.
Correct.
Right? So it's great if you're great at math and I'm great at math, but neither one of us are great at talking to people, then we have a deficiency between the two of us.
Then it's not a good match.
Right. So always look for partners that can make up for what you lack, so that together you can be a stronger partnership or a stronger team. But also don't fall into the pitfall of thinking that if you have some strong leaders or players on your team, that you can set them up, throw them in your downline, and then have nothing else to do. And I hear that all the time. I just need 2 good leaders, and or just 3 good leaders. And one of the reasons why I think that happens is because when people are marketing programs, they like to tell you just, all you have to do is recruit 2.
Yeah, just get 2, and the 2 go.
Or
get
just
2.
get 3.
Yeah.
And then those 3 get 3, and then those 3 get 3. And in an ideal world, that would be great. But you're kind of also setting people up to do the minimum.
Correct.
Right? If you want to build a really strong business, you can't already go into it with the mindset with, what's the least I have to spend? What's the least I have to do? Because
to make the most amount of money.
To make the most amount of money. It doesn't work that way, because you're going to, you know, you ask the universe for peanuts, it's going to deliver you peanuts. You know, so it's important to, you know, go out there and find people who lack in your deficiencies, but then don't throw the business at them.
Absolutely. You know, just what you were just saying with finding the right business partner. A lot of people, sometimes what they do also, they'll spend 90% of their time focusing on this one person they know in the market, that, look, if I get this guy on my team, I'm going to kill it. And they will spend months, weeks, if not years sometimes, trying to go after the same person. And sometimes you may just get lucky, you finally get that person to join your team. But guess what? A lot of times the one you think was going to do the most, do the least. So never disqualify people, all right? Because every single person can be a superstar. Every single one.
So true.
You know, absolutely.
People are trainable.
Yeah,
and
every single one of them.
Our last business, we started it with what I call the peanut gallery, because none of us had experience. It was about 5 or 6 of us, and we were just all just passionate about what it was we were doing, and literally grew a very, very successful business, you know, with people who had no experience, no education in the market, didn't even have a flip phone, was still using flip phones, didn't even have laptops. So you're right 100% about that. Never discount anybody, and don't have your business rely again on that one superstar or something that, because one thing, you know, I find especially about leaders, and you know, you get into a business, if you're a strong leader, it doesn't matter what your upline does, you're just going to take it and run with it. But you're going to find a lot of people also who resent the fact that you put them into the downline in an effort for them to work for you. So you'll find that they may not be as interested in the business as they could have been, or because they don't feel like they're getting the support they need from their upline.
Any effort into it. And to me, I don't think it's right also, because sometimes I hear people say, well, can you put somebody strong on my team? But what have you been doing? It's like,
well, and how are you going to
business.
contribute to that person's business?
Is that person going to end up being all responsibility to teach and coach, or you're going to take what you've learned and then go pass it on down the torch? If we can't just pass it on down, you're never going to get to that level where you say, you know what, and you can never take a break. I know people say we can always get to the level where you go lay back and you by the beach. And
you do get to a level where it's a little more comfortable, but there's a lot of building in the process.
Absolutely. It becomes more and more responsibility every day, because so many more people are relying on your expertise, also relying on you.
But with the internet now, you can do so much of it online. I know people like to meet face to face, and I welcome, and tell people, the opportunity to do that is fine, but I don't like also seeing people spend money they don't have yet, because they think they have to travel to all these expensive areas in order to recruit or build an office or get these very expensive venues. Essentially, the only thing you're doing is showing off.
Absolutely.
So it's, people want to follow money and success, but in the beginning stages, word of mouth is just the best way to just, go at it. And if you need help sometimes or proof, sometimes the best proof is just your upline.
Absolutely, yeah. Because great you're talking about your upline, because sometimes you have to take yourself out of the equation.
Yes.
Right? Because let's say you're talking to this to this friend of yours, or you're a good networker, but he knows you, and he knows that, okay, you've been doing okay for yourself. How are you gonna go try to tell this guy I'm doing so well right now? Instead of putting yourself there, say, listen, I've been working with, this couple people from the U.S. This is Mrs. Petion, Mr. Petion. This guy, he's my mentor, and I'd love to one day just can show you what he's done for me. Basically, you've already taken yourself out of the equation.
What works too is a lot of times people say, well, you haven't made it yet, and whatever else, just like you just said. But I always like to ask, well, you're going to base your success on what I'm doing?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe you'll do better than me.
Yep.
I can't imagine that if we went to the same school, drove the same cars and whatever else.
Don't you love when they say, well, how much money have you made so far? It's like, what does my paycheck have to do with you?
Has nothing to do with your paycheck. I may make millions. You may make a few bucks. Yeah. And vice versa. Absolutely. I may, totally tank at this, and all of a sudden you become the rock star no one, you didn't expect.
That's the beauty about network marketing, is that people always say, well, I wish I had joined a year ago. I wish I was one of the first 10 people that joined. It's BS, guys.
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
You could be at the very last, the bottom of the line, and end up passing everyone above you.
That's true.
And make a boatload more money than everybody else that came before you. So let me work for me, and let me work for my team. That's what's important.
Excellent point. That's very well said. And working for your team. One of the things that people need to keep in mind also when they are building downlines and networks is automatically you start to look at, where do I need volume, or where do I need the stronger player? And if you have to set up legs, you don't want them on your strong leg, you want them on the weak leg.
Absolutely.
And all of these things are strategically done. But I just did a video, if you check out our YouTube channel also.
That was a great video, by the way.
Thank you. On building downlines. And you need to really keep your team in mind first before yourself, because if you can do that and build strong teams, the money's going to naturally come anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Again, if you just separate people that can work well together, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Because in the long run, they'll do much better than had you separated them. So don't focus so much on the quick money, the fast money. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with fast money. Get rich quick seems to have a negative connotation, but who wants to get rich slow? You don't want to spend 10 years doing what you could do in a year.
Absolutely.
But in the same token, you want to make sure that whatever you're building is strong enough that it will last for years.
And then you help everybody, you all the way down the line, everybody benefits.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a ridiculously high number. It's like 85% or 90% of people who do network marketing or affiliate marketing that stay with the same company for 10 years or more are millionaires.
Absolutely. It's a
85 to
fact.
90%, as long as they stay with the same company for 10 years or more. And I think that's where we're kind of missing the ball here a lot of times, is because people are jumping from company to company. They see another opportunity that flashing light syndrome, I like to call it, or Finding Nemo syndrome.
I have no patience.
Yeah, you remember in Finding Nemo where they had that light
Yeah.
flashing in front of them, and they were like,
Yeah.
"I feel
Dora.
happy."
Yeah.
Yeah, Dory and Marlin, because they had this flashing light in front of them, and the light comes on, and all of a sudden it's like a giant fish ready to attack them. And I compare online businesses and network marketing very similarly. You have these flashing lights and bells and whistles, and then sometimes it doesn't even make sense. The returns that they're promising, or the comp plan doesn't make sense, or the service or the product doesn't make sense. And then you kind of get roped into doing something that you think is going to make you a millionaire, but doesn't make sense.
No.
You know, so anyway, those are just my
Doesn't
my
mean
viewpoints.
that every company you join, if you see some something is seriously wrong with that company, run. Because don't just stay because we told you stay with them for 10 years. Because there's some red flags in some companies that
Well, yeah, of course.
immediately
You wanna
know,
find the
okay, this
right
is
one.
not for me. Yeah, I mean, you can ask. I remember this back when I was in the corporate world. I walked into this one bank one day, and I got the job. It was a great job, and I got on the phone, and what they asked me to do. I just see that it wasn't right by the customers. I made like 2-3 phone calls to a couple clients, and then it was lunchtime. I picked up and left for lunch and never went back.
I think they were selling like swamps or something.
Yeah, they were like selling some crazy properties down in South Florida. Not even South, somewhere in the swamps of Florida, and literally charging people 20-30 times the value of the land. And I saw that, I was like, I can't possibly sit there and take money from
Right.
people like that. And it was a big company, and I didn't do it. And so sometimes you have to know what you're doing with your true morals.
Yeah.
And
I mean, listen,
you
we're
can't-
not the
don't just do
moral
everything
police here
for money.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be doing the right thing if we didn't tell people to make sure that you're doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
You know, it's to me, it's just a part of life. I don't think millionaire money or millionaire opportunities comes with doing the wrong thing or shafting people. So if you know what you're doing isn't a legitimate business, going into it with the mindset like, well, we all know it's not a legitimate business, so we'll all do it and we'll just all make some quick money. But there's always somebody that's going to get burned.
Correct.
At the end. Who's the last person to join who just
Yeah.
lost? So you want to make sure that you're taking the time to research something, that it makes sense, and that you're not just doing it a fly-by-night type of opportunity, because every single time one of those things don't work out, you're losing credibility. And it's going to get to the point where if you're not a little bit more discerning about the types of businesses that you're involved in, you will lose all credibility, and it can take years to build and a fraction of a second to lose. I love network marketing. Network marketing is one of the fastest ways to make a successful business with as little knowledge as possible, as little capital as possible, and it's an amazing way to meet people all around the world that you can help. So, if you want to talk about building a business, to me, hands down, it's the way to go. Again, just some key tips on building the business is find something that's credible, that you enjoy,
Absolutely.
something that has a need in society, and be there for your teams, and you'll almost always make it hands down.
Yep, no, absolutely.
All right, so let's talk about what's going on in the market. Let's talk about our market watch this week.
Oh yeah, this is yeah.
Well,
We
it's
always
been a rough week.
It was, yeah. So just so you guys know, we always end the show just not really giving you guys any financial advice or tips or anything like that, but just talk about how the market went and what happened. Yeah, it was actually kind of every week we said the market was crazy, but I think that's trading period, guys. That's one thing I
That
want to
is so
tell
true.
you. It's not, there is no good week or bad week. Okay, in trading is basically like is what position were you in when things went the other way?
Yes.
All right. So, like for example, last week we spoke about a couple weeks ago. We spoke about how the U.S. dollar, everything was going against the U.S. dollar. Guess
Right.
what happened last week?
The US dollar
was killing it. It's
guys.
like it was the strongest currency by far in every market, and actually the DXY went over 100. On average, it's at 96 or 98. 98
Now,
is
what's the DXY?
high. The DXY is the value of the US dollar, basically.
Oh, okay.
But it hits its highest in since, I think, since beginning of last year. Now, the euro, what happened with the euro, because the US dollar was gaining so much in value, and then you had the coronavirus, which is globally affecting the market. So the euro actually tanked last week, which was its lowest since
like 3 years, I think.
yeah, in 3 years.
What about the Aussie dollar?
Now the Aussie, I want to talk to you about that. The Aussie was actually the worst performer. The Aussie, the lowest that it has been in. Aussie is Australian dollar, so in case you guys don't know what it is, but so the Australian dollar took the biggest hit this week. Lowest has been for over a decade.
Wow.
For over a decade, which is like unheard of. And one of the reasons with the Australian economy being impacted so much with what's going on today in the economy with coronavirus in China is they're heavily dependent on China. Most of their trades come from China.
Right, because they're so close to
exactly.
Asia.
Australia is really the closest country to Asia.
Right.
And whenever the economy in Asia is not doing well, the Australian dollar take a huge beating. So it didn't perform at all last week. Towards the end of the week, literally a couple hours before the entire market closed, what happened? Everything just went. It's like a roller coaster. It was like it went up and then went down.
That's my Wizard of Oz comparison.
I'm like, what? So that was the Japanese dollar, the yen. The yen took a dive. Why? Because there's a fear of recession in Japan right now. In addition to that, the US dollar, the PMI report at 3 o'clock, I think it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, went a lot less than expected. So everything started reversing. For those of you who had like long positions waiting all week and been suffering, I'm sure you had a little, breath of air right after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was actually fun to watch all week. Our traders, they did great. Also last week was slow for us, but at the very least we didn't have walk away with a loss.
Well, that's one of the things, as you said,
which I'm actually very excited
about. That I love about trading, because it's not just win or lose. Right? Because you said something very important at the beginning of that market watch, and it's that it depends on the position that you're in.
Correct.
When these drastic things start to occur. So, it's not that you can predict.
No, you can never. But then we would all be billionaires.
Yeah, because if anybody can come out and, that's what they call insider trading and everything else. Nobody's going to come out and release a report before the report is released. So if you're talking about the economy or unemployment or anything like that can impact the market, but then suddenly a report will come out that'll cause something to reverse very quickly. And if you're already in a losing position when it reverses, and that's great, you start to gain back. So it's really hard to detect. One trader can actually win on a position, and because it's a reverse position for somebody else, another one loses, right? Yeah. So it's very interesting. It's something that you do have to pay careful attention to also.
But yeah, so the last thing, guys, I want to talk to you guys about in the market is Bitcoin. To all the Bitcoin lovers there, cryptocurrency actually kind of went sideways this week. And when I say sideways, is that it was pretty much like a little roller coaster. It was up and down. Beginning of the week, all cryptos lost about 10%. And we see Bitcoin went down to about $9,500 in the beginning of the week. But it slowly started climbing back up. And I think as of now, as of today, it actually went all the way back up to 10,000. Wow. So, which is amazing.
That's great. Yeah, it gets a little scary when it starts to take those dips. But you're right, it did resist and make a comeback. So that's also. But one of the great things we've added to our program that we spoke about briefly last time is a pilot program.
The pilot program, which are traders right now that are on the program, they're doing really well.
Really excited about that.
We have a few traders that actually has been all week been trading on our demo accounts, on the company's demo account.
Right.
And they've actually been performing really nice. So they still have some ways to go. So whatever they're doing is great, and we're very excited. and we can't wait to bring some new traders on board.
Yeah, because
And
we did it out of the need for a couple of things. One, the business is continuing to grow, and we wanted to add more experienced traders onto what we have already. But one of the things also in our experiences with network marketing and talking to a lot of people about the businesses, I'm finding a lot of people, although they appreciate our automated trading program, all right, which we use traders and bots, a combination of both. But a lot of people want to learn how to trade on their own, or they're already starting to try to trade on their own. And because we have a registered platform here at Novatech that is our own MetaTrader platform, people don't know this, but they can just go on our platform and trade on your own.
Yeah, we don't have to set up the account for you. You can actually download the app, find us as a broker, MetaTrader 5.
Awesome.
MT5.
Guys, if you haven't done so already, please download the free MetaTrader app. You can find it in the Play Store or the App Store, and open up a demo account. And I encourage everybody to do this, whether you're using our automated trading program where we trade on your behalf or you're not. I think it's a great way for you to familiarize yourself with the different symbols, the market trends, and especially we're talking today about building businesses. This really gives you an opportunity to learn and understand the business so that you can get better at building it and talking about it to others, and have a sense of confidence about what it is that you're talking about, and know that we're going to be number one in household name.
Absolutely, number
Very
one.
much.
Thanks for joining us. Love you all.
All right, see you next week.
All right.
Thanks.